Please know that the British Empire, the same empire that lectures us today about human rights and democracy, once called Gandhi's independence movement. Yes, Gandhi, the guy who was literally all about nonviolence. To the Brits, he was a... And why, may you ask? Well, it's the same reason why the French called the Algerian freedom fighters bandits, why Israelis called Palestinian resistance fighters terrorists, and even why the Americans called the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, terrorists while funding them through NORAD, which was another Irish organization. Calling resistance or independence movements or violent is done by design, because it's either that every single person in these resistance movements are pure evil, or that empires use the same exact playbook when it comes to addressing these independence movements. Spoiler alert, it's because they all use the same playbook. And there are 5 steps that they use every single time. The first step of the empire's playbook in addressing resistance movements is labeling them as... Now, it doesn't matter if people are fighting for their homeland, for freedom, or for independence, they're going to be hit with the same label. We saw this in 1916 when the British referred to the Easter Rising, which was an uprising from Irish people, an armed uprising against the British on Easter, after conscription was instilled or enforced throughout Ireland, okay? And the conscription was basically forcing Irish people to serve for the British Army, okay? Now, if you don't know anything about what happened between Ireland and Britain, the UK had a lot of control, or basically held Ireland under occupation for a while, and, of course, the Irish people hated it and they wanted their independence. So the Easter Uprising was just a couple of days after Easter, or during Easter and after that, when the Irish basically put up arms and they started fighting the British. Now, it ended pretty quickly, but the British labeled this armed resistance as terrorism, even though the Irish were literally just fighting for their independence from who? The British.